We have broken down every single position group in EA College Football 25. If y'all want to see those videos, it'll be a part of this playlist, but in this, we're going to do a tier list for all of the offensive players in College Football 25. So in this, we're going to be ranking their overall and then also how they actually play as a user, man. Some guys might be a 95 plus overall, but they might not play that well in the game. So we're going to judge that. We're going to put all of those things together and we're going to put it into a tier list. Like I said, this is going to be the offensive version. If y'all want to see the defensive version, let me know and we may drop it tomorrow. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, go over to my Twitch, follow me over there. We got a live streaming series we doing damn near every day. All right, so let's come over here to the website where we're going to be doing the tier list and let me break down my tier. So we got best. This is going to be probably the best at that position group in my opinion. Next we have good, meh, kind of just even kills, don't really move my needle. Then we got bad, and then we got the worst, which is going to be the dirt category. So like I said, this stuff is going to be based off my opinion, man. Like I said, I did a test on every single one of these archetypes, but I feel like we kind of got to take that with a grain of salt because that don't tell the full story, man. Just because one player might get to a 90 overall doesn't mean they're better than that 85 overall at times. And when I say at times, we'll see with the scrambling quarterback, man. I think an 85 overall scrambling quarterback could be better than a 90 overall field general. It just all depends on your play style. So we're going to be taking all that into account, man. So we're just not going to be basing it all off overall in this video. All right, so let's start with the quarterback. While we're already here, man, field general is going to be the first option. We're going to put it in the good category, man. In my experience, these archetypes develop the best, and these could be phenomenal players, especially if they develop the speed. They could get to 99 medium throw accuracy, and they're one of the only archetypes that could get the throw accuracy that high. So if you want a guy that just could throw dimes and might not be as mobile, but I feel like that's not really the meta in this game. I feel like too many people don't really play like that. And me personally, I would rather have a scrambling quarterback that could do a little bit of everything. Might not have the best, he'll have a good arm, but he might not have the best accuracy. I'm fine with that. So that's why I'm going to put the scrambling quarterback into the best category. They might not develop the best, but like I mentioned earlier, man, you get a scrambling quarterback as an 87, 88 overall. That could be, a best player when it comes to user, when it comes to you actually playing games. But when it comes to actually, if you're simming every games, I think you want to probably go with a field general. Also depends on your playbook. Playbook plays a big part into simulation. Will depend on your playbook. Because if you have a playbook where your quarterback is scrambling a lot and also running design runs, you probably going to want to scramble the quarterback out there. But for simulation, I do think the field general in most cases will be your best quarterback, and they're good. I just don't think they're as good as the scrambler. To be more specific, the athlete scrambler is where it's at, man. If you get your athlete scrambler every single time, in my opinion, they're better than the regular scrambler. I don't know why. I don't know what it's about. But listen, I'm all here for it. So get you an athlete scrambler. That's going to be in my best category, man. That's in my best. Now we get into the improviser. The improviser is also good, but I think it's the worst out of the three. And I'm going to put it, just tier 2 of the good category, essentially behind field general. These guys will also develop. They can get a little bit well-rounded. They'll come in with some solid speed. Also, they could throw a little bit. But I don't know. I just feel like they're the best or they're the worst out of the three in this group. And like I said, none of them are bad. They're all usable. It's all just kind of depend on your playing style, man. Next, let's get into the running back. And what I figure out with the running backs from my experiment is they all can develop. It kind of is personal preference a little bit. Trust me, all these won't be personal preference. But for the running back, it's kind of almost personal preference, man. You could get the receiving back going up to 95 overall. You get the elusive back, the power back. You get all those going up to the highest overall. In my opinion, I like the power back the best. But specifically, if you get a power back with 93, 92 plus speed, I'm going to put that in the best category, man. If you don't find one of those gem power backs and he only got 90 speed, then I'll move him down to the good to meh category. But if you're able to find, one of them gems that's very good, for me, they're going to be in the best category. And like I said, all these guys kind of develop the same for me, man. So I'm going to put the rest of the two, receiving back and elusive back, in the good category. I like all the running backs, especially now that I'm seeing some of these elusive backs come in, especially at the 4 stars. You don't even have to get them at 5 star. Get a 4-star gem elusive back. You could get that guy coming in with 96 speed. I wasn't seeing that earlier in the year. I also seen an elusive back develop to 99 speed. going from 94 all the way up to 99 by his senior year, and that's amazing. I haven't been seeing that early in the year. And then also the receiving backs, from my experience, they come in just well-rounded. Carrying rating is low. That's my only issue with those guys, but you can get that to develop. They can become very good players. Get them at a gym. You're not at a disadvantage with any one of these running backs. So I'm put this in this order, man. Power back is my number one. Like I said, just got to have that high stats. But I feel like all of this is, or at least for these two groups, is a little bit of personal preference. All right, next, let's get into the tight ends. And here where it get a little bit crazy. Tight ends get a little bit crazy, man. So we're going to start off with the blocking tight end. And this is interesting, man. It's a little bit interesting. So it is the best when it comes to overall. These is the tight ends that can get to the highest overall. Unless you're removing an elite receiver over the tight ends, sometimes they could develop to the upper 80s. But when it comes to pure tight ends, the blocking tight ends could reach 95, 96. They'll get up there easily. But their actual attributes are not that appealing for someone that likes to throw the ball. They will not have high speed, catching, none of that. They'll be great at blocking. They'll be a hell of a left tackle. They'll be a hell of a center. How are they catching the ball? They're 95 overall with 65 catching, 70 catching. Is not great. So overall wise, which is important in this game, especially if you won a small program or just a program that want to increase your school prestige, and by doing so, you need to get players drafted in the NFL and having a tight end, a blocking tight end, at least on your roster that's going to go to the NFL because he reached that 87 threshold. That's important. So I think it's important to have a blocking tight end. And when it comes to overall, like I said, they are the best. But I'm putting them in the good category because they're not good at receiving the ball. And that's a big part of this game, man. As far as possession tight ends, I'll put them in the med category. And the only reason I put them in the med category is because they're second behind blocking. But they still do not develop, man. We did a test. Like I said, we did a test on all of these. The blocking tight ends always develop. The possession tight ends, the highest it maxed out was at 84 overall. And that was an elite development 4-star gym. Maxed out as an 84 overall, man. Many other positions do not do that. They do not max out that low of overall, man. The tight end and receivers, they max out low. Especially for the possession and then also the vertical threat. Vertical threat is going to go in the dirt category for me, man. Overall wise, they don't develop, man. They'll max out like an 80 overall, 4-star gym, 5-star gym, 82 overall. You'll rarely ever see these players get drafted, man. One of your best bets, if you want a tight end that can catch the ball, almost your best bet is getting an athlete wide receiver and moving him over to tight end and hope he gets the skill caps where he can actually develop into a good player. 9 times out of 10, it will not happen. The possession tight end is going to be your best chance at least getting the guy that can catch the ball, block a little bit, and he's going to develop somewhat. He won't be a player that could get drafted. They won't go up in overall. So I think it's worth having at least one blocking tight end. And I'll even say this for all of these tight ends. I would not recruit tight end if he's not a gym. Tight end is a position I have to scout and I have to find a gym because you'll bring in a 4-star normal guy or a 4-star bust at tight end. He might max out as a 76 overall, 74 overall, especially if he's a possession or vertical. So for me, like I said, I'm only doing gym at tight end. The vertical threat is going to be the dirt category. The only reason I consider moving up to bad is because they overall might be a 78, but they're still playing out the world. And I have that happen. I won tight end of the year with a guy that was playing out the world, even though his overall was like a 76, 77, just because he had the great receiving stats. So take it with a grain of salt. It's all depending on what you want to do. But overall wise, they're definitely the worst. They don't develop at all. They max out very early. So they're going to be in the dirt category. And like I said, I suggest moving that receiver, physical receiver, over to tight end and rocking out with that. Next, let's get into the receiver. And it's going to be similar. I'll say similar as far as the tight end, where this is a position I don't recruit unless he's a gem, just because you'll have some of these receivers 4-stars, even 4-star gems. They'll max out as like 84, 83 overall as well, which is unfortunate. Super unfortunate for these pass catchers, but we're still going to grade them. For me, I had the deep threats as the best wide receiver in the game, man. Speed kills, especially when the CPU press and you can just run over the top with 99 speed. Even if you go underneath, speed kills. You get these guys with 99 speed, 97 speed, even at 3-star gym. You get some very good deep threat receivers. They don't always have the best route running. They don't always have the best hands. That's understandable. But I feel like route running almost don't matter, man. I feel like the faster your guy is, that's all that matters when it depends on getting open at times. So I feel like route running is not the most important thing in this game. So for me, it's going to be deep threat as the best. For the second best will be the physical wide receiver and not the athlete. If you're going to recruit the athlete wide receiver, do not pit him at wide receiver. Athlete physical, do not pit. He's going to be the lowest overall there. You know, I had a 4-star athlete wide receiver physical. He was a 71 overall at wide receiver. You put him at safety, he goes up to like a 77. You put him at tight end, he goes up. You put him at linebacker, you put him at cornerback, he goes up. At actually wide receiver, he's going to be the lowest. That's for the athlete physical wide receivers. I suggest going after the regular physical wide receivers if you actually want to play the guy at wide receiver, because they're actually going to come in with a solid overall. But overall is not to say all be all, man. Overall could also develop. That's what they're coming in as. So, you know, not to say all be all. And these physical guys, big, strong, they could block. You can move them to tight end. Also, they can catch. And they'll have some speed, too. You get some with 96, 97 speed, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", even 6'6". I got 2 6'6" receivers in my Temple Dynasty, both with 94-plus speed. Go check out that series, man. 5 stars. 2 Calvin Johnsons on one team is crazy. You could really get that with these physical wide receivers. But the athletes, like I said, I don't suggest keeping them at receiver. I suggest moving them to the defense side of the ball or, you know, tight end somewhere else. And then for me, the route running is going to be in the meh category just because, and we'll put it at the top of the meh because they do have potential in my opinion, but they come on in as the lowest overall out of any position in this game. You get a 4-star route running receiver. You get a 5-star route running receiver. He's going to come in as a 70 to 65 overall. 4 to 5-star. They're coming in with the lowest overalls in the game. Like I said, we did a whole experiment on this. If you want to go check the video, go watch it. But my whole thing is they'll develop. But what if they don't? Sometimes, you know, players don't develop. So you get a route running wide receiver, he might not develop, and he might just max out as an 81 overall all after 4 years. Compared to some of these other guys might be coming in as a 76, 78, 79, damn near 80 overall, you know, as a freshman. So, yeah, like I said, the route running receivers, they come in with such a low overall. They tend to develop over time, and I don't hate them. I put them in the meh category just because I think they're the worst out of the bunch. But if you find a 4-star gem with some good speed, go after him. 100%. You want the red shirt him. He won't play his first year, but Get one of those guys with the high speed that route running, they definitely could play, and I definitely suggest putting them on the red shirt, put them on the bench, and by sophomore, maybe even junior year, they're going to be a guy for you. All right, so next let's move over to the O-line. I decided to break it up by every single position, whether tackles, guards, and center. We decided to break it up between all of them. So what we're going to do is start with the tackles, and I believe the best, I'll say overall O-lineman archetype is going to be power, man, even for the tackles, surprisingly. And I say surprisingly because I almost went with the pass protector, and the power is just super well-rounded. Coming in with the good strength, the strength is so important, man. The power is going to come in with that good strength, and then also I feel like they develop a little bit better than the other archetypes, at least in my opinion. And then also for the pass protector, for the often the tackle, just because they're usually going up against the edge rushers with the best pass rushing ability, I'm going to put the pass protector in the good category. They come in with the lower strength, but lower strength at the tackle positions is not as big of a deal. So I'm putting the good category, and then I'll put the agile close behind it, man. I'm a fan of the agile, especially at any of these positions, often the tackle as well. I put it in the good category, but behind the pass protector. Now for the guards, once again, I'm putting power number 1 for the guards, man. I feel like power is, especially for the guards, probably my favorite. I always look for power guards. I'm never looking for the pass protector, man. Dirt, in my opinion. You get you a pass protecting guard or center, man, they going to be fooled. I promise you they going to be fooled, man. They going to come in with super low strength. They won't be able to hold a block for nothing. You're going to be going up against these strong D tackles that have the higher power moves. And these pass protector guys, they're good in finesse moves. They're not good with the power moves. So your guy is just going to be getting thrown out the way, thrown to the ground, all type nasty work. So for the offensive guards and then also the centers, I'm putting pass protector in that dirt category for the inside, man. I'm not doing it. The only way I consider bringing the pass protector is for my tackles, and I still probably wouldn't do it. Honestly, I still probably wouldn't do it. Next, we have the centers, or excuse me, we have agile for our guards, and the agile will also go in the good category. I'll definitely bring in the agile, man. If he looks good, he's a 4-star gem, 3-star gem, 5-star gem. I'll definitely bring in the agile guy as the guard. I have no problem doing that. Now let's move over to the center, and the last two centers here is going to be agile is going to be my best. Personally, I'm putting agile center as my favorite, specifically the athletes, man. The athletes, and maybe even move those guys over to guard. If you want to keep them at center, fine. They're the lowest overall at center. They're always better at D tackle. They're going to be the highest overall at D tackle. But if you need O-line, you want to keep them on O-line, keep them at center or guard. They're going to have the high speed. They come in with the speed for sure, man. If you want a guy that can get upfield, good impact blocking, lead blocking, all that, hit a linebacker, hit a safety, all of that, these agile centers, especially the athlete agile centers, is going to be the best for that. So I very much enjoy that. And then also the power is going to be close second. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it at the top of the good category, man, because I generally feel like these power centers are some of the best in the game, man. I feel like they just develop overall, and you don't have to worry about the strength. The strength is so important when it comes to these inside guys, man. It's less important on the outside, but yeah, I definitely feel like that strength matters, man, when it comes to these going up against these D tackles, these big dogs. All right, man, that's going to be my tier list right there, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all let me know what y'all think should change. We actually did not put one thing in the bad category. We had some dirt, but nothing made it into the bad category for this round. And like I said, y'all let me know what we should change. And y'all also let me know if y'all want to see the defensive version of this. We'll drop it tomorrow. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Twitch. We're probably live over there right now.